The internet lied to you. It promised that reading 50 finance books would reveal a secret cheat code to turn your $90,000 salary into a fleet of leased sports cars and automated passive income. You were told that if you just skipped your daily coffee and optimized your morning routine, freedom would follow. But when you finally stacked those 50 books on your desk, digested the formulas, and looked at your bank account, you discovered the silent paradox. The books aren't teaching you how to act rich, they are teaching you how to stop bleeding cash. True wealth is never the loud, performative display of what you can afford to buy today. It is the invisible, bulletproof armor that dictates what you can endure tomorrow. The real game isn't accumulating fragile status. It is building a fortress so quiet that nobody even knows you are playing right now. Part 1. Costume versus camouflage. Look at the guy pulled up next to you at the red light in a $95,000 sports car. He is wearing the complete costume of wealth, a crisp tailored suit, custom leather shoes, and an oversized luxury watch catching the afternoon sun. His monthly payment is $1,800, his credit lines are stretched to 80% capacity, and a single delayed client invoice will send his fragile empire crumbling like dry plaster. He is performing prosperity for an audience of strangers who couldn't care less. Now look at the man sitting quietly across from you at the diner, wearing faded denim and driving a 10-year-old pickup truck with a scratched tailgate. You would never guess he holds $4.2 million in short-term treasury bills and 5 fully paid commercial properties generating $18,000 a month in net cash flow. He wears camouflage. 50 finance books all converge on this brutal reality, leading directly to Rule 1. Wealth is what you don't see, and camouflage will always beat the costume. Costume wealth is loud, because it desperately craves external validation to fuel an insecure ego. Camouflage wealth is invisible, because it values sovereign control over cheap applause. The costume costs you your sleep, your bandwidth, and your peace, locking you into a golden cage where every income spike is instantly devoured by higher overhead. Camouflage gives you the ultimate leverage, the quiet power to walk away from any toxic client, bad deal, or soul-crushing job without asking anyone for permission. The truly wealthy stay in the shadows not to hoard secrets, but because financial immunity vanishes the second you broadcast it to the world. When you stop using your hard-earned capital as a theatrical prop to impress people you don't even respect, you finally convert cash flow into permanent autonomy. You trade the fleeting high of looking rich for the unshakable serenity of being untouchable. You stop spending money to build an illusion, and you begin deploying quiet capital to buy back every single hour of your life. Part 2. The historical dark reality. To understand how fast the loud game destroys you, look back at the winter of 1929. The stock market had just fractured into pieces, wiping out generational fortunes in a matter of weeks. While brokerages collapsed and thousands marched into financial ruin, one man walked into his Manhattan home with a check for $100 million. His name was Jesse Livermore. By shorting the crash, he had just executed the single most lucrative trade in human history, controlling an asset pile worth over $1.8 billion in today's money. He was the undisputed king of Wall Street, worshipped by the press and feared by institution leaders. Yet just 11 years later, in November of 1940, Livermore walked into the cloakroom of the Sherry Netherland Hotel, sat down on a wooden chair, and took his own life. His net worth was non-existent. His liabilities vastly eclipsed his assets. How does a man who mastered the mechanics of money lose everything twice over? Because he fell victim to the most seductive lie in finance, the belief that extraordinary skill at making money eliminates the need for caution in keeping it. Livermore treated leverage like a drug, constantly risking his baseline survival just to chase the next intoxicating high of total market dominance. You see this exact modern tragedy unfolding around you every single day. It is the business owner who pulls $700,000 of equity out of a thriving, debt-free operation to fund a flashy second location during a bull market, only to watch rising interest rates and supply chain shocks crush their entire enterprise. It is the investor who trades 3% treasury yields for 8% private debt deals, ignoring the catastrophic tail risk lurking in the fine print. They mistake a long economic expansion for personal genius, over-leveraging their life until a single unpredictable variable snaps their spine. This dark reality brings you directly to Rule 2. Survival is the only metric that truly compounds. 50 finance books teach you that long-term returns mean nothing if you get knocked out of the game midway through. Wall Street sells you the fantasy of maximum financial efficiency, urging you to squeeze every single dollar of liquid capital into aggressive growth assets. But true professionals optimize for financial durability, not reckless speed. They keep 12 months of cold cash sitting in boring, low-yield treasury bills, intentionally sacrificing a few nominal percentage points of gain to guarantee absolute personal survival when an unforeseen storm strikes. When you build an unshakable margin of safety, you transform market crashes from lethal disasters into discounted opportunities. You stop playing for a single legendary quarter, and you start playing a game that no economic storm can force you to forfeit. You realize that financial freedom isn't measured by how fast you can accelerate on an open highway. It is measured by the strength of your brakes when the vehicle in front of you slams to a dead halt. Part 3. The Everyday Trap. Think back to the last time your business had an extraordinary quarter, or you secured a $40,000 bonus. You didn't blow it on something reckless. You told yourself you were being smart, responsible, and practical. You decided to reward your hard work with a reasonable upgrade, a slightly larger home in a safer neighborhood with a $1,200 higher monthly mortgage. But then the insidious psychological trap known as the Diderot effect quietly kicked in. That beautiful new living room made your old sofa look shabby, so you bought $5,000 of custom designer furniture. The sleek new driveway felt absurd with your reliable sedan parked on it, so you leased an $80,000 European SUV. The upgraded neighborhood silently demanded a $12,000 annual membership at the local country club just to maintain appearances with your new peers. Without even realizing what happened, you didn't actually raise your quality of life. You simply dramatically raised your minimum cost of existing. Your fixed monthly expenses ballooned overnight from $6,000 a month to $15,000 a month. What felt like a life-changing windfall of new revenue was completely neutralized within 6 short months. You trapped yourself on the hedonic status treadmill, forcing yourself to maintain a high-stress, relentless hustle just to service your newly inflated baseline. If your primary business takes a modest 20% hit next quarter, or your largest client unexpectedly leaves, you aren't just slightly stressed, you are in a state of quiet, suffocating panic. This brings you directly to Rule 3. Never allow a temporary spike in variable income to permanently inflate your fixed lifestyle baseline, regardless of how stable it feels. 50 finance books point out a fatal psychological flaw that plagues high earners. Human beings do not measure financial satisfaction by absolute wealth, but by the gap between their current expectations and their immediate reality. When your earned income rises from $100,000 to $300,000, but your living costs rise at the exact same speed, your net feeling of financial security remains anchored at absolute zero. You are merely running faster on a faster conveyor belt, burning through vast amounts of physical energy while making zero actual forward progress toward true sovereignty. The stealth wealthy operate on a completely different behavioral protocol. When their active cash flow doubles, they keep their personal living baseline glued firmly to the floor and aggressively channel 100% of the excess into real, yield-generating assets. They treat lifestyle upgrades like a slow, ultra-deliberate ratchet, only advancing their baseline living standards after their passive asset yields, rather than their active labor, can fully cover the new expense twice over. When you detach your personal identity from your daily spending habits, you break the tragic cycle of forced consumption once and for all. You stop converting your precious life energy into depreciating status symbols, and you start using excess cash flow for its only real purpose, purchasing freedom. Part 4. The Betrayal/Reality Check. You are sitting across from a competitor at an industry dinner. He just closed a $10 million funding round, purchased a sprawling estate in a gated community, and is receiving a standing ovation from everyone in the room. His social media is exploding with congratulations. For a brief, uncomfortable moment, a sharp wave of self-doubt hits you in the chest. You look at your unpretentious truck, your quiet investment portfolio, and your unflashy routine, and you ask yourself a dangerous question. Am I doing this wrong? Did I spend years reading, disciplining my ego, and building liquid reserves just to be outpaced by someone who takes reckless risks and screams about it from the rooftops? Then you look past the applause and inspect the reality behind his curtain. You know his numbers. The $10 million headline valuation is paper equity loaded with aggressive liquidation preferences. His personal lifestyle is underwritten by high-interest personal guarantees and short-term debt. His company isn't cash flow positive. It is burning through capital at a terrifying rate, forcing him to beg institutional investors for another lifeline every 8 months. He doesn't own a sovereign empire. He owns a high-stress, 90-hour-a-week job where he answers to a board of directors who can replace him at the first sign of a downturn. That is the exact moment the betrayal of the modern financial machine becomes crystal clear. The system is structurally engineered to celebrate performative risk and promote perpetual leverage because over-leveraged people are predictable, dependent, and easy to control. They cannot walk away from a toxic deal. They cannot speak their minds. They cannot afford to sit quietly in a room and do nothing. This brutal realization brings you directly to Rule 4. The ultimate metric of true wealth is not how much you earn, but how many things you can comfortably say no to. 50 finance books strip away the grand illusion. If your net worth increases by millions, but your daily stress doubles, your physical health collapses, and your personal calendar is completely owned by external demands, you haven't achieved freedom. You have simply negotiated a higher price for your own bondage. You realize that competing for status in a hyper-leveraged world is a rigged game, where the only way to win is to walk away from the table entirely. You stop measuring success against a competitor's fragile scoreboard and focus on building a quiet, completely unassailable life. Part 5. The Quiet Shift. So you make the quiet shift. You stop looking sideways at what the world is building, and you look inward at what you actually need. You realize that true wealth was never about making a grand statement to the public. It was always about making a private commitment to yourself. This leads directly to Rule 5. Sovereign freedom is owning your time, your attention, and your peace of mind without requiring anyone else's permission. You liquidate the performative habits that drain your bandwidth. You pay down the silent liabilities that shackle your focus. You build a deep, unshakable reserve of liquid capital that allows you to wake up every single morning and decide precisely how you will spend the next 12 hours of your life. When the noise of the world demands that you run faster, you possess the quiet strength to stand completely still. When society urges you to show off, you choose the safety of staying hidden. You no longer care about looking rich, because you are finally busy being untouchable. You close the books, put down the phone, and take back absolute ownership of your existence, quietly, permanently, on your own terms.